Hello, hello, hello. So, what are we doing today? Well, as it says by the title and the description, at least a little bit, we are going to use a pretty prominent feature in Ableton that we've been lacking in using so far. And that feature is kind of one of its flagship features, I guess you could call it. One of its main selling points is its session view. And Logic has just come out now with something similar with, GarageBand already had it in the app I'm sure, a little while after. I'm not exactly sure when GarageBand introduced the idea of those live loops in those cells. If you might remember from the Logic days, or the days that we stuff in Logic, you might have seen GarageBand like esque live loop sections, and I showed it in the GarageBand app as well as Logic. I did not know myself because I hadn't opened Logic in a while prior to this live stream series, I suppose. And yeah, they added the live loops, so everything, all these DAWs now. I'm not sure about like Reaper, Cubase, FL Studio, all the other major DAWs like that, if they have some kind of similar system in that you can put loops in different cells or different rows on like a grid fashion, and then rather than have it sort of a left to right arrangement view, like this is your final song right here, you can have collections of loops that you can play together. You can mute, stop, and start individually rather than start and stop the song as a whole. And that allows you to go and quickly go back and forth between different combinations of sounds, different ideas, and kind of jump around a lot and quickly make changes and make decisions because you can stop and start things. You don't have to get caught up in tasks like soloing and muting certain things like you would have to do in Soundtrap. So, hello. I just probably have always just a little bit out of frame. There we go. Okay, we're good now. So what have we been doing so far? Well, I have been taking this trap project that I've been working on here, and I have been compacting it. Well, I haven't really been compacting it. I have been cleaning it up, and I have been taking the clips that exist on in the arrangement view. So, for those of you who are new to Ableton or new to DAWs, Ableton has sort of two main views, two main kind of ways you can see it. And this is the section you see now. The main section you see now is called the arrangement view. That is where it's left to right in the same sort of fashion that Soundtrap would be set up, or Logic would be set up, or any other DAW would be set up. So left to right gives you your measures at the top, and it's a sort of ruler, and the tracks are from top to bottom. Well, if you press Tab, or if you there's a way to do it from the menu, but the key shortcut is Tab. That will switch over to what is called in Ableton the session view. And this is where we're going to be doing most of our work today, because I'd like to migrate our clips that are in arrangement view here onto the session view. And you see on each channel, so these are called channels or tracks, on each track you see a series of clips beneath them, and in each of them, okay, I need to get my mouse program running here. Okay, it looks like it's running, but it's not actually running. It does that sometimes. So you look next to each clip here, you'll see a little play icon, and that means that you can. So I'm going to go down here and press this button. That means it's going to stop all of the clips that are in arrangement view right now. Actually, no, that stops all the clips here. I need to stop all like this. Okay. So now all of the clips in my arrangement view are muted. So you see here on the track, you have a series of clips, and each of them have a play button. So you can play, stop, or start. So if I press spacebar right now, you can see this play button up here is lit up, meaning it is tracking, it's going, and I can just go ahead and start any of these clips. Okay, as long as we have it audible. So let's make sure everything is audible. So this is an old clip. I've still got some moving over to do, but just for example, let's go ahead and now. So now you notice, even though I've stopped playback, this clip now has a green arrow on it, meaning it is triggered and it's ready to play. So it's on. The clip is on now. And to turn it off, you'd come down here at the bottom and stop all clips by clicking the little square here. And that's going to stop all of the clips and tracks on track 36. So that includes anything that's in arrangement view here. So anything here, you can see it's all grayed out, it's all muted. To get this back, by the way, there's a little orange button in the top right corner. That also appears here. And that will basically, that's the back to arrangement button. So it'll turn everything in your arrangement on, and then all of the clips in your session view off. And the cool thing is you can have parts of the session view playing clips while you have parts of the arrangement view going through your song. So you can sort of work in both areas at the same time if you want to. But what I'm doing is I'm sort of migrating enough pieces so that I can have a constant loop play here. So if I press play, it's going to reach the end of these 16 bars, loop back to the beginning. So I want to have a collection of loops there that I can switch between and test different combinations of sounds, specifically for when we come to the drop section. And this will also help us develop the other sections as well. We just have to make sure that we keep ourselves organized. And we're going to do a little bit of that here. So before we start to organize these clips, let's make sure that we have everything over. So we're going to start here at the very top. I want to make sure that my sidechain source is moved over. So here we go. We have a boom snap, but I'm not exactly sure this is the pattern we want. So I'm going to see here. Yep. Okay. So I want to take this pattern. And I can also make a couple other sidechain patterns beneath it, and we can like test different ones. And also, okay, another quick segue about the interface here. You'll notice there's these play buttons, and when we have groups, you'll notice that there is play buttons next to these as well. So on the group, there is also stop and start buttons. And what this will do is, across this entire row, all the clips on this entire row in this group will play when I trigger this play button. So what we can essentially do is set it up so that each row has a different collection of clips on it, and we can quickly switch through the combinations and switch through different sections of the song. This also means that, let's say that you were a live performer, you wanted to perform your song live. Well, there is a reason that this software is called Ableton Live. And it comes down to this view right here, because what you can do is set up your song in an order such that you can play, stop, and start any of these sections at will, and you can also stop and start them with MIDI and with controllers such as these to sort of play your song. You can play your song in a different order. You can go to different tracks in your set and adjust parameters, and then you can set it up so that your loops are somewhat random. Like you can set it up so that your song is more of a set rather than a produced track. So you could have, like, let's say several different clips on here with options for your loops, And I mean, there's many ways that you could use Ableton to not only produce in the studio, but to perform as like a live set. So that might be a little bit of inspiration for you. But we're gonna try to create that sort of scenario here where we can essentially perform the song, and that way we can quickly make changes and make work in this view and create a whole different song if we, just move a couple things around. We'll make it as flexible as possible for ourselves. Okay, so electric drums. So this loop is already over there, yeah. And I think that, oh yeah, these are different sections of it. Okay, so we've already got that set up. Main, we don't have this quite yet. We'll make other variations of main. Topper samples, we haven't created any loops for that either. Shaker, we have a shaker here, but okay, we already have that loop as well. And I've picked the one where there was a particular problem with this loop where it fades in at the beginning. I don't know if you can hear it. Oh wait. Fortunately, I haven't been playing much audio this whole time, but I realized I thought it was muted. Here we go. This is much better. Okay, now you can hear things. Yay. So that has a fade in at the beginning, so I took the second half and I moved that here. So you can see in this clip, it's just looping the second half. So I can play this, and that will now be looping indefinitely. Cool, so let's grab the other ones that we have not yet messed with here. And we also have to make sure, because there is automation in our arrangement view, we have to make sure we loop a certain section where we have the parameters relatively unchanged. So maybe around here, perhaps? Let's do that. Let's go to the end of the song here so that we can use another feature of session view. When we get to the point where we have a completed little collection that we'd like to add into our song, add into arrangement view, there's a way we can do it without individually dragging the tracks over and recreating it in here. You can essentially record what's coming out of arrangement view, or what's coming out of session view, what clips are playing directly into arrangement view, and we'll do that here in a little while. Okay, so we've got this electric drums, we've got that kindified kit, we should have that as well. Static kit, effective drums, we're not using the arrangement yet. Build up drums we have, but we haven't used. We have a bunch of transition. We have 3 transition tracks, only one's being used, but I've gone ahead and created so what I did here is we've got a transition effect that starts like kind of midway through this 4-bar section, kind of starts right around like measure 6, the middle of measure 6. So in order to make that into a clip, we have to have it so that it is a reliable loop. Like we have to structure our clips so that they are in a series of 8 bars, right? So like if you press play and start all the clips at the same time, they'll work together, right? They won't be restarting themselves at different points. Unless that's what you want to happen, then you can, of course, change the loop range. And you could, get something repeating every 1.5 measures, and you might get some, like, syncopated rhythm that way. So, I don't know. But generally, when you're repeating, like, whole song sections, or you're setting up a song to work with session view, you want to structure it in sections of 8 or 16 bars, and that way you can more easily change between whole sections of session view. Okay, so we've got this, so that I've dragged back the MIDI clip so that it starts like here at measure 1 and then ends at measure 8, but the note starts right here. And also we need to, well, we've done this already in session view, but what happened, I dragged back this. So it started out like, okay, that maybe is not the best idea, but it started out like this, right? This is what the MIDI clip looked like before. So what I did is I took it back like this, dragged it back, and you'll notice down here, this little bar represents the loop region. So when I press loop, it's going to loop from here into the end. So that kind of, that's not what we want. So we want to drag back this loop region down back to the beginning, press loop, and now when we move it over into our session view like this, I grab it, press tab, drag it over. Now we have a functional loop that starts at the beginning of an 8-bar section, and then towards the end of the 8 bars, it'll give us a transition sound. So it's going to wait 4 bars, and then measure 6. It's going to come in. Of course, that's not soloed, so of course, and always I can always. So what I did to start it nearby, I could press play, but every time it'll start here at the beginning. But you can go to any point along this ruler, and you have a little speaker icon that appears. So I can press this button. I can press right here, and then the playback will start from that point. See? Or it'll start from the nearest measure marker, right? There's a way to change where that is. You can change that here. So if you trigger from here, whoops, you can move back and forth in the loop this way. And if I set this to 1/16, I can go to different divisions of it, like smaller divisions of it. But I like to leave this set at 1 bar. That way, and this has to do with triggering clips as well. When you can, when you I'll demonstrate this. So when you start a new clip, it'll have a little cooldown to it so that it starts itself in time, and that cooldown is adjustable over here. So let's say I wanted to start up this loop. So I pressed a little early. You saw it flashed for just a second, and then it started right on measure 1. So that's what's happening here. Is if you press the next clip button early, it will wait until the start of the next bar. In this case, I've been hiding it this whole time with my face. Sorry about that. Let me show you guys again. So up here, or what's happening is there's a cooldown to when the next clip will start, and that is controllable via this menu right here. So when we're playing 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, you'll notice that it flashed for a little bit, right? And that is due to this. So I can set this to something higher. I can set it to like 4 bars, and then when I start my clip, let's play something that's audible. So okay, so let's also clean this up. We want to stop everything in arrangement. And that's going to stop everything here too. So unsolo this. Alright, let's just play a simple beat here. So you'll notice if it's set to 4 bars, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 3, 4, you'll notice it's waiting, 3, 4, but it doesn't count out the entire 4 bars. Okay, again, no, I'm not hiding this. You'll notice that even though I set this setting up here to 4 bars, it started right on the next measure. So what this means is it's not going to wait exactly 4 bars before it starts. Think of this as like quantizing the start time of your clips so that everything lines up. And that allows you to, let's say if you're using the Ableton push like this, which allows you to trigger scenes in session view, it allows you to do that a little bit earlier than it would happen, and maybe even 4 bars in advance, so that you could much more easily play a live set. So that's what that's for. But I'm going to leave that set at 1 bar because generally I'd like things to come in quickly, but still in time. So that's kind of 1 bar is the default, and that's kind of a good place to leave it set. By the way, guys, I'm looking to the side because my stream monitor, I guess I could move this window so I'm not looking as far to the side. So let me make sure. Yeah, I don't want to be confusing you guys. When I look like this, I see myself, I see the stream, and I see the chat. So when I'm explaining things, I like to look over to the side as if I were talking to the chat. So that's what's going on. All right. So we have this here. We have some loops. Let's start to come up with some combinations of things. We've explained the concept of the starting and stopping of clips. So let's arrange the clips in the session view so that it is convenient for us to start multiple clips together. So we have over here on the master track, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what I'd like to do is set it up so that when I play 1, we have the intro play. When I play 2, we have the verse play, or as long as we want, right? So verse. I don't even know if you can call it a verse because that's gonna be so short. We'll just call it intro with beat, because it's not really gonna be a verse. There's not really vocals in this song. And then we have the chorus, and then we have the build up, and then we have drop. And then what we can do is you can have different variations of it. So you can have drop, variation A, drop, variation B, and then what we could do is just trigger these whole scenes, one after the other, and we get our song similar to, to how we have it here. But we can choose, different tracks if we want to. So here in the beginning, I'm going to basically replicate what we've got going on already in our intro. So we've got our shaker sound over here. I've done some stuff with slicing the shaker clip up. What I could do is I could consolidate all of this with Command J, and then I could consolidate this with Command J as well. Rename them. Shaker, fade in 8th end, and rename them shaker, no fade, 8th, 16th end. So because this speeds up like this at the end. 1, 2, 2, 2. Yeah. We'll just call it speed up, right? So then we will move these over to that to be on track 7. So we can go over to track 7 here and drag that in. So we have just the plain loop, shaker, I'll call this. Then we have shaker fade in. Also, let's make all these clips red really quick. There we go. Same here. And what else do we have on our intro? We've got the transition that's already there, but also we've got a lot of stuff that's kind of, so we've got a lot of stuff that's already there in here. So what we can do is just move this all the way out so that we have just some blank clips to start with. I want to do that over here too. Move it down to about there. So we have like our library of stuff. All of the stuff that we've dragged in so far, just kind of down and out of the way, and then we can drag things up into our empty rows up here. Okay, cool. So now everything's out of the way, including the sidechain sources we need to move. And in the beginning, we have shaker clip. And then we have, oh yeah, a bunch of stuff down here. So we have Electra X doing stuff. Yep. And then we have this. Yep. Then we have our pad. Then we have our other pad. Our other pad. Ooh, that's if you're dragging audio to MIDI. Don't want to do that. Unless you do. Okay. And we'll go ahead and select all with Apple A. I'm just going to do this just to clean things up. There we go. Just making the color schemes consistent here. I want to do that with everything over here too. So Apple A to select all tracks. Well, we want to do it when we select a track and then assign those. Perfect. Okay, so what happens next? What we can do is stop everything, play this. Turn on what needs to be turned on. And now we have an issue that the parameters aren't exactly in the same place, because what we had done is we had gone onto the tracks in arrangement view and we had done automation. And that automation exists on the track rather than the clip. So what we need to do is for every single clip, there's kind of two levels to this arrangement, or there's two ways you can create automation in Ableton. You can do it as part of the clip itself, so within this box, right? So you can automate stuff down here. So what you see is envelopes. So this is how you get to it. You can go to clip, and then you can automate stuff like volume, transposition, which I did with this particular bass sample. Sample offset, all sorts of stuff like that, and then all of the stuff, all the effects as well, you can automate as part of the clip. And that's what we're going to have to do, because the clips are only the clips exist in session view. But when you're in arrangement view, you can add automation onto the overall track. But the thing is, that automation does not get saved with the clip when you move it over. So we need to translate what was there, or recreate what was there in our clips. And that way, when we drag it into arrangement view, there will be clip automation already on there. There will be no need to do any automation or as much automation in the arrangement, because it will be all kind of compacted and consolidated into the clips. Which personally, I don't like to do as much. I like to just do combinations of instruments and do the automation afterwards on the track, so I can just see everything at once pretty quick. But I'm going to try it this way. I'm going to try it the clip automation way. So I'll give you an example of what that is. So if we come down here, we stop everything in arrangement, play our arrangement, or play our intro by clicking over here on this arrow. This will play everything in this row. We can solo certain things. I think that's where I want it to be. And then if I press Shift Tab, this is how I'm going between what's called the clip view. So there's two views in the top, right? There's the session view and the arrangement view, which we've talked about a little bit already, extensively already, actually. And down here we have the clip view. So when you click on a clip, the MIDI shows up, and you have options down here like the notes. You can edit the notes in the clip, and you can also edit the clip automation here. And you can do stuff like commit grooves, change the time signature, change the color, and all sorts of stuff. But if you want to mess with the effects, if you want to use the effect chains, the EQs, the compressors, you press Shift Tab, and that will switch to the effects view. And here you can see all of what's going on the track. So you have Massive X with all its parameters. You have the arpeggiator before our Massive X, which is taking the notes on this track, which is just suspended chords, right? These are the notes here. It's nothing more than just a series of chords And I can also drag this view up and down to get a closer view of the notes if I want to. And those are being arpeggiated by this arpeggiator, set into massive, set into a compressor. It's a multi-band compressor that's meant to really compress it hard and give it a certain character. Compresses the reverb a lot as well. Another compressor after that to control the peaks. And then an EQ to cut out all the low end that's unnecessary. So what I'm going to do is, on the end of this, I think I will add a filter that I can automate. Unless there is a filter that exists in the patch already. So let's just check this out here. Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong. This one's soloed over here. Yeah, okay. So we'll visit the ARP later. I'm looking at this one. I'm soloed this one. Here's the there's not nearly as much on this. Just the contact instrument, the sampler instrument with a couple controls inside it. An EQ to cut out a lot of stuff around 1K because that's a particularly it's particularly annoying sound in this one. Probably, maybe not everywhere, but here, I might actually bring it up a little bit. It's not that bad, but you can see like a particular spike right around here, which is like right where our ears are the most sensitive. So I'm kind of tuning that down so that it's not particularly annoying. Also, a lot of the lead sounds have particular prominent frequencies around there, so we're just controlling that there. But what I'd like to do is filter it in the beginning, and I'm going to do it as part of the clip. So auto filter, we're going to have it down here, solo this again. I'm going to use some drive and whatnot to make the filter motion more noticeable. I could do this if I want to. But I'm not going to. Maybe just a little bit. There's the transition. What if I change some of these? Well, let's quickly add the filter sweep as part of the clip automation. So, filter frequency, if I move this around and I go here, yep, you can see auto filter frequency now as part of the clip. So I can grab this and start it down low. And then find the end of the clip over here at measure 39. And then play it back so we get a good idea of where it is. We'll start it right here. For the last portion, on measure 4, we'll start to bring it up. So let's use the speaker icon to play it from measure 4. Starts to come out a little bit. Starts to come out a lot. It's all the way out. And I might even use a filter sweep down. No. Yeah, we'll leave it as is. Okay. This one's particularly over here. Something needs to be. Yeah, see, this one's already got clip automation on it. Check out what it is. Yeah, there it is. do something here so that I can have this sweep up at the end. Let's double the loop. Okay, I'm going to have to do it so that we're here. And if we do duplicate loop, this will create an exact copy of the loop. So now it's a 16-bar loop. And we can go into our automation now. It also copied the automation. We can get rid of this filter sweep and make it happen on the very end. And we'll create a similar filter motion as we did before. So that's going to come up a little bit at the end of measure 4, or end of the 8 measures this time, actually. So I say measure 4, but I meant the end of measure, the 8th measure here. Going into the new section, the new 8-bar section, that's going to come up to 41, and then it's going to sweep up. And I'm going to avoid it being linear because linear is boring. So we'll use an exponential sweep by holding down our Option key, dragging that automation down, similar to the automation tool, the curve tool in Logic. Curves are important, so makes transitions sound better if they're exponential, if they accelerate or decelerate rather than just linearly move. So this one's still pretty linear. What I'm going to do is have it be an exponential curve. Peak out around here. Start it from here so I can hear just that. What I'd like to do is also bring out the auto filter, so the device onto for the frequency. Yeah, see we have the similar filter motion going on here. I'd like to sort of same deal, create this, have it be all the way out, and also the auto filters modulation amounts, LFO amount. That's going to drop off at the end. Same with this one. This one's got an automated LFO on it, so I want to drop out the LFO amount at the end. Actually, not this one. This one's got a little bit of LFO. We could automate that later, but I'd like to do this one's auto filter frequency. Same thing, that comes up here again, comes up here. Change that curve to be exponential, and we want the LFO amount all the way up. We want it to drop out completely right about here. So maybe even here a little bit. Which one are we even automating? Oh, I need to listen to it. Let's do that. Let's hear this. Oops. Okay, it's going to play different times, so let's just hear this one. It didn't actually... Oh, it's because we're looking at the... I always do that. We're looking at the wrong clip. Okay, we want this to immediately jump back up to 30, and we want it to be down all the way here. So let's start it out, measure 12, dropping out. And let's look at just this. We'll pan it center. Okay, problem is there. When we drop out the LFO amount, the filter is also kind of low. So we need to really bring this out. Let's start about 196, and we'll bring the filter up as the effect starts to drop out. Bring it up to about here, and we'll drop it immediately back down to a lower amount. But then we'll start coming up from here. Let's try that kind of motion here. So it's going to start to drop out. Yeah. Comes back in. Starts to drop out. And it's good transition noise there. So let's listen to both. So I'd like to have a similar idea for these two. So this one particularly. LFO mount's going to drop out here. And then immediately come back. And then same. Okay, the only problem with using the clip automation is that we can't create automation lanes, which kind of sucks. Automation. What? Oh, okay. I think this is like MIDI modulation. But anyway. So yeah, right around here we want to drop, or not drop, but bring up the filter cutoff for just a second, then bring it back down, but to a higher value. So like right around here. So maybe start it out at like 620, move it to like 800 or something. And bring it up again at that transition, but we'll leave it up. Starts to drop out. It's got to come up a little more than that, I think. I think we should kind of peak around all the way up, and then we should use an exponential or logarithmic curve there to bring it up quickly and bottom out. Maybe not that quick. Yeah. Let's use like slopes up here maybe instead, so that it sort of leads towards those transitions. Same here. We gotta bring the filter. Oh wait, no. I think we're seeing a smaller zoom level. Yeah. So here I want to ramp up as well. Basically what I'm trying to do here is make the loop not so static. And make the whole song just move, right? We want things to move. It's kind of boring to just to listen to the same over and over again. But if it started to come out, if the filter moved a bit, so it was dynamic, and if everything was dynamic, well, there you have something very interesting on your hands. Everything moves, you know? Okay. That comes out, and then this is a more gradual. I guess we could have one here too, just to stay consistent. Of course, we're going to need to get rid of LFO amount there as well. But then I'm going to start to bring it back in. Same here. Drop it out. Curve it. Curve it. Okay. Ooh, okay, so we want to bring out a lot of stuff in Contact then. We want to maybe use the filters in Contact more. be a nice transition. So what I'm going to do is cut this clip in half now. So we'll do this, and we'll loop just the first section. And then for the second section, it'll be the other half. And then this one, same deal. Well, I've yet to do much automation on it. I have done frequency, but it's not the most overwhelming, or not the most exciting of automation. So I guess I could do some, I'll record it in myself, why not? So we need to set it up so that we can record onto the clip with this button. We record onto any playing clip, or any track that has record ready. So it's going to be this one on this clip. You'll notice that this green arrow turns to a red arrow, which means it's recording onto that clip. I can have multiple clips recording at the same time if I'd like to, but I'm just going to do some automation. And we can only do that one track at a time. I like to do specifically the auto filters frequency. And unfortunately I can't capture record that, but that's kind of the idea I want. So let's do that. 2, 3, 4. I wonder if another shape would sound better. Let's try this. Let's try a different shape here. Might sound better. Whoops. I need to make it just an 8-bar. Okay, I got an idea. Let's do this. I don't want it to go down as far there, so we can use a little shortcut to simplify our envelope. I don't want it to go down to there. I want it to go about here, where it was. Not to the point where I can't hear it anymore. I think that might also have to do with the filter cutoff. Yes, let's do this to our filter cutoff envelope as well. We'll do a nice Smooth curve for everything. Don't go down this far, though. Yeah. In fact, I want to start a little bit higher so it comes in as... and then sweeps quickly down. So it's... yeah, maybe even faster than that. Right, and then perhaps the, therefore the LFO amount can come in a little bit faster. And then quickly come out like this. Yeah. Okay, that's kind of nice. That's kind of nice. But then at any point, I could be like, Option drag. I take an entire copy of all of these clips. I'm just going to delete intro with beat. I'll make this one intro with beat because now I have all the clips that I just arranged, copies of them, with all of the bass in there. Also resampled raw. This doesn't necessarily need to be here. Actually, wait a minute. Was this on? No, I deleted all of that. Okay, yeah, these were like my experimenting tracks. I think this is not necessary though. I hope not. Let's just hear this real quick. It was recording. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, we don't need these. This track was record ready, so whenever I press record, it was recording what I was doing. I could go ahead and, yeah, I'm just going to leave that on, but I'll just make sure that it's off for record ready all the time. I really should move this out of the bass group because we're not really using that in our song anymore. It's just kind of like a library of samples for us. So I'm just going to move that next to sidechain source because like that's kind of like a utility track. I really should move sidechain source to the end. But this is just how I like to organize it. So we're going to make sure that that's sort of blue because this is like our utility resampling track. Okay, cool. We have resampled kit, but we don't need to worry about that one. We can also turn it, yeah, it's off already. A lot of these are already off or muted. So let's focus on this second intro section. I also have to make sure that all of this is off. Oops. Like that. And that we don't have a random solo somewhere. Yep, we're soloing this resampled raw track. Well, geez. Alright. So what happened here? We moved to a new section in our arrangement, so the parameters changed. Our clip view. That's a problem. So we can fix that by making sure that the parameters that control how much this lead is out is automated on the clip as well. The particular one is that's causing problems. It's this one here. Electra X. So I'm going to make sure that we have a filter on this. Yeah, we have a filter on the clip. So here, okay. All right. Yeah, here's one of the limitations with clip automation. Because, yeah, because I can't make a clip on the group. I can't make a group clip with the automation on it. That can only be done in arrangement. Okay, so there is a limitation to it, but I suppose I could get around it by duplicating this filter and just moving it to both. It's only 2 sounds. Won't hurt too much to do that. So I will move the auto filter after Electra X, and I will also duplicate it to duck space. Okay, so now we have a filter on there, and we can kind of move both around with clips if we'd like. Great. Oh, of course, this already has a frequency built into it, a filter cutoff built into it. I don't need this here. Look at that. It's got a filter on the wave in the wavetable already. No need. Electro X probably has a filter built in as well. Yeah, right here. Low pass 24 dB, but I don't think it's making much of a difference because it's being modulated somewhere else somehow inside this synth, so leaving that alone. But yeah, let's bring this filter down for the start. I'd like to also make sure that the EQ is on the end. And then it doesn't have so much low energy. I want to cut kind of specifically here. So we can adjust this down. Actually, no, I want to adjust one down because I want to get a notch right around where that annoying frequency is. Also, we need to make sure this is a loop, as well as this one. So one of the techniques I like to use for EQing is if I'm finding a particularly annoying frequency in a certain sound, I can take one of the filters in that EQ and I can bring it up as a peak and I can slowly move it around in my spectrum until I boost the one that's particularly annoying, and then that's where I cut. So let's play it again. We can also just visually see it's right around here, right? That's kind of where it is. It varies a little bit, but mostly around 300 or 500 hertz. So what we're going to do is cut there. We also got a bunch of the slow energy we don't need. That's what we're going to filter out with this one here. So yeah, it ends up being around 367. I'm going to do a broader cut here so we get most of them. Alright, cool. We can also bring this up some more. Yeah, let's do that. So here's the difference, right? Without, super fuzzy, kind of muffled. Of course, that's because it's a filter on it. If I bring it up, it's more powerful because it's got that low end. But I want to get rid of that. So even when it's super way filtered out, it's still not giving us that extra low energy that we don't need. Because of course we're going to have a sub, basses, chord sounds, which will take up that low energy, and we don't want them to conflict. And with the filter up, it sounds cleaner too. So I might even EQ it a little bit more, just so that we can take. There's a particularly annoying one. It sounds kind of glitchy, but there's one of these frequencies that needs to be cut. So let's look for it together, shall we? There's another filter shade we can use for this, the notch. That way it'll cut out everything there. I'm trying to cut out this stuff. That stuff's like... I don't know if you can hear that particular frequency, but maybe I'll try to solo it out. Yeah. I'll try to kind of just isolate that frequency range here. So if I put a auto filter, or not auto filter, if I put a low pass filter and cut out all the high stuff, and we turn this notch filter into a peak filter, so I get a sharper one. You kind of hear that stuff in the upper to high frequencies. That's the stuff I'm trying to cut, because that, I don't know, yeah, it's not the best. It's not the best. So I'm using a notch filter to do it, and also taming some of the high end. Now in the mix. And then here inside the clip, now for the whole reason we put the auto filter here in the first place, is I want to have a filter sweep that happens at the end of 8 measures. Yeah, cool. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's different than here. But do I want it to be that fast? Maybe I'll create sort of a intro with transition. And then this intro will be like tame, right? It'll just be static. So no transition here, right? None of that. This needs to loop, and then not automate out so much. Yeah, so it comes out a little bit, but not. And then for the second half, it's going to be more out. So if I play this now. This also has to be EQ'd more. It's also got a loop here. So I'll adjust this track. So the same process where we look through the sound and try to find an annoying frequency. Right there. I kind of want to tame it, but I don't want to completely lose the idea that we have some sort of pitch there, because if we cut out too many frequencies, we might cut out what's known as the fundamental frequency, which gives us a sense of what note it is. So we want to be careful. I think I'm just going to end up lowering the volume of it overall. Okay. So let's go back to this one. I'm trying to tame the transitions here. So for the first half, it's going to be like less extreme on all of this. And then for the second half, we're going to actually bring it out, right? So here, I don't want it to sweep all the way up yet. I just want it to come out to here and then come back down. Yeah, that's about where I want it to be. Also gonna EQ the whole thing. It might just be my headphones, but around 1K, it's just my ears are starting to like hurt. So I'm trying to just cut out that mostly because the lead's going to take up that area. We don't need too much frequencies around there. We do, but those we can reserve for the most important notes. The background chords don't need so much of that frequency there. They need most of this, actually, not this stuff up here. Right? This is kind of reserved for... I'm actually going to create another notch somewhere. Just cut something out. I'm looking for the where that frequency is, because that one's particularly. Of course, I could tame that on the right around there. Yeah. Let's just make a slight cut there. Yeah, that's nice. So we have a version that's tame. This arpeggio could be even more tame. Like drastically change the character of it. Look at that. Jeez. Anima does a ton. I'll do is bring up Oscillator 2's level for the second half. Like that. The first part is coming down. Also, we're going to make sure that we cut out all of that. Low energy that we don't need. Trying to figure out the best way to work this in. I'm thinking just an auto filter after all of this other stuff. Like this. Like that, yeah. Yeah, it starts about there. Okay, that's gonna work. That's gonna work. So then we can bring that up. Okay, we don't need to hear this. Over and over again. That's the great thing about about session view is you can just stop and start any of the sections that you want. Let's have the filter go down here and then come up. Okay, let's start it from here. Nice. See if some variation of the horn could work in the beginning. This is the whole idea of experimentation. Like you could bring in, I'm gonna bring in this these other loops here that I have for the horns, and we're just gonna try them and see if they sound good here, or maybe one of the instruments might sound good here, because we want to sort of hint at melodies that'll come later in the song. Okay, I'm telling already this is not going to work because we have no way of making it tamer as of late, or as of now. All we've got is the horn sample and a compressor on it. Inside here we could perhaps change some things like humanizing, stereo, reverb. Not many options in terms of changing the whole idea of the sound. So what I'm going to do is I will throw on a filter. And I could throw out a filter to this whole group and do it that way, but just so that I can have clip automation, I'm going to do a filter on each track. They're not too, they're pretty light. It's fine. Pretty light CPU wise. So we take our so now we have this this session horns. I ought to call this what it is. Session horns, and this is, instead of calling it what the sample's name is, I'll call it low trap horn. And then this is trap horn 2, or I'll just call this trap horn 1, I guess. I'll move these two before the session horns. something like this. Yeah, that could work. What if I created an even simpler rhythm? So, oh, it's doubled up. Okay, maybe we just have the top layer. Brought him out, maybe? And here, and the cool thing is, I could, I'm not sure if I could automate this, but I could choose a different style for this trumpet sound, and I could make it like a legato trumpet if I wanted to. So the problem is, we have sections set up, full section. We would have to change this expression here. Section setup, velocity switch, grace note, shake, faux pique. Yeah, we'd have to change this here. Or, you know what, I could do, see, I'm gonna have to figure, okay, I think what I'm gonna have to end up doing is, unless there's a way to automate this menu with MIDI, which I doubt there is, animator, assign this to that. No, okay, yeah, so that's not gonna work. Okay, so what I'll have to do is create a new track of session horns, and then on this track we'll load it up to be a different articulation. So here, I'll just drag this one over. This is our simple clip. We don't need this one over here anymore. I'm going to drag these two down. These three down, actually. Don't need that other stuff down there. And we just want this. Now, we're editing. Got the filter and everything that we had on there. We can probably put like a high pass on this one and just leave it there. Don't mess with it too much. Okay. What we want to do, though, is we want to go in here, and now we can adjust this one to be... Staccatissimo. Or, you know what? Okay, I got an idea. What if we take this? What if we take this staccatissimo note and we delay it by a quarter note triplet, and then we'll get bum 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 bum, something like that, right? So how can we do this in an interesting fashion? We'll try echo. Well, the hell are you there? Dotted eighth, I meant. faster rate, and we got to make sure that this session horns is a loop, because otherwise, each time it stops. Let's have it ping pong. Only thing I wish I could figure out is the initial note. Let's do this. Low feedback. That should be a good amount. Also, let's filter the delay so that it's a more upper portion of the frequency range, so that like it's not just a repeated note, and we can tell more clearly where the first note is. Like that. But okay, we need to go in here. Character, echo. Where is the low pass? Is there a high pass? Filter high pass. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, so it only has an upper range. Thing is, it's a little bit delayed now. One, two. Oh, I see why. It's because, look at that. The loop ending is a little bit after the ending of, these need to be the same. Because what was happening is every time it looped, it just got forward, or just dragged back a little bit and a little bit and a little bit. Glad I noticed that. Maybe a reduced section. Let's reverb on this. Staccato horns here. and normal horns, or for faux picre because it's faux picre. I'm not sure why P is even there, but it's it's this as opposed to the staccato. So we have two horn articulations available to us now. Cool. And what I could do is fade in these ones. So when I play the intro, these are not going to be here, but maybe when we get to this point. Okay, that's sick. You know what? I was on the fence about that. Like, maybe I should have the maybe I should have the trap horns in the beginning, but you know, I think that's gonna be kind of cool. So if I just make sure that I copy this exact rhythm here, and then we play the whole row. This be brought to appropriate octaves, of course. Let's make this happen sooner. Yeah. Okay, filter these in as well because I don't want it to be full on until we get to the chorus section. Thinking of a better way to do this, perhaps I could use like a something to obscure it before we reach the end here. A different pattern of delay? Or I could do the send level, but that's a track automation. Let's try some stuff out with these horns because I kind of want to get creative with them. I don't want to just like fade them in or filter them in. I want to try something else, you know, because every trap track has the same. I guess I couldn't just go and say that, can I? But every trap track has the same sound. No, but it's something you hear a lot. Like you hear this trap horn sample a lot, or you hear this, not this particular sample, but the idea, the trap horn. That's something you hear a lot. So I want to be particularly, I want to be attentive to this one and make sure that it's cool and the way that it comes in, rather than just, you know. So I'm thinking using an effect other than a filter that it starts out as being all affected and being all obscured and changed in its sound, and then as it gets closer to the chorus, it starts to morph, i.e., move its parameters into becoming the original sound. So that may include a filter, but it also may include something like a phaser. Let's try some things. Let's try corpus. You know, okay, let's give it a try. And also I'm going to try some external plugins. Yeah, so this was just a resonator. I don't know if that's really going to be exactly what we want. I'm going to go for some plugins here. So we're going to go for Sound Toys. Filter Freak. Okay, maybe we may try just a different filter. Or not. I'm not sure. Echo Shift, Echo Boy. We don't. Oh, Crystallizer might be cool. Load it up. I know this one has some cool presets. Pitch up. Oh, this might be cool to bring in the... Ooh. That's cool. Melodic? That's funny. Just keep going up. It just keeps going up. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so you can make it play minor chords or what have you. This effect is crazy. Let's do... Oh, man! That's so cool. I could use that as like a build-up. I could try this on my drum tracks. If I can make that motion a little bit faster. Ah, see, now this one has a ducking feature, where if I play a new note, it'll cut out the delay. Nice, nice. Let's open up the tweak so that we can see more of what's going on. We want to change the speed of that. Yeah. I like how it's a reverse reverb, a reverse delay as well. I do want to copy only EQ'd versions. Makes it that's pretty cool. Filter after that. got that staccato horn on top. It's like you can barely hear it now. It's probably because it's being filtered up so much. Okay. This has to start lower. So, clip. What am I even automating? Yeah, this. Oh, no, I should be automating the lead. Whoops. Come out some more, but not all the way. And we'll do some of the motions we've been doing. So it's gonna come out here. It'll start to come up and then come back down. Quickly come out. Like that. Going all the way down. That might come up too soon. Yeah, that'll be better. Oh yeah, LFO. We can have an LFO on everything. We're listening particularly to this. Wave her around. I like how it's kind of helps it follow the whole vibe of everything else. Just whoa, 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 whoa. The pace, right? Definitely got to work on some of the LFO amount for the second half because, yeah. LFO frequency's got to come up. Oh no, excuse me. Filter frequency's got to come up at the end here. that far. And I want it to only be all the way out when we reach the next section. There. Alright. And that, of course, will be different here. Alright, I'm saying that section is pretty good. We could always try some other things when we have other ideas and just bring in the clips as we come up with them. Oh yeah, the intro with transition had a shaker, didn't it? It did. We'll try a shaker fade in. So, of course, we've got to unsolo this clip here. Let's do some mixing really quick so that we can make room for the drums, because everything is just too loud right now. Too loud. We're going to focus particularly on the melody section, because there's a lot going on in here. Oops. Yeah. Oops, you know what's happening here is the horns are sharing the lead group. I want to take that out. Which also means some OTT, EQ, and compressor was put on the lead sound, and I had gotten used to that. Mixed it that way. So let's move let's move the OTT over to here. Just so we can keep things consistent with the lead sound. Alright, cool. Now I can listen to just the horn. And this sounds about the same. Awesome. We got a little bit EQ in there. Compressor afterwards, but we shouldn't have to worry about that with the lead. We'll see. We'll see when we get there. Let's focus on just the horns now. Do I want to have both in there, maybe? Or do I want to have different... Now, let's have it so that... Darn, I really wish I could have a clip that encompasses the group so that I could put automation on it, as like clip automation on it. But it's not exactly designed that way. Whoopsies, what did I do? I moved Crystallizer into this one. I didn't want to do that. Sure. You know what? Let's just come up with another instance of Crystallizer, and maybe we can have a different preset and make some more interesting sound. Because there will be a section when this is the only melody, right? I mean, we have horns, and then we have the bass. So these effects will come more into play when we reach that section, because now we'll have some affected horns on top of bass, and we can make a cooler sound. It'll be cool. It'll be cool. It'll be great. Let's look at messing with the parameters on our Crystallizer. Maybe even using a different plugin entirely. Let's use a different plugin. Let's use Echo Boy. Sure. I know that's another delay plugin. Okay, let's take a look here. So what presets do we have? We could also go through and designed one. That's lots of nice options in here, but we're going to just look through and see if we can find something that makes it interesting right off the bat. Okay, echo, color, repeats, slap, guitar. Let's do dotted eighth plex. Punchy slapback. Yep. Well, I guess that would sound better on vocals. Color, studio tape. Oh, I see. It's only using this here. Interesting. Let's use studio tape. Tape echo. Ooh. When it's mixed with everything else, it just sounds like a longer note. Oh, I need to adjust the low and high cut. Or maybe adjust the mix and feedback. And maybe the length as well. Its own EQ now. Let's look at what frequencies we got going on this track. Yeah, see all that? We don't need that. We don't need that. Low frequencies, goodbye. Let's use a, okay, that's fine. What we're using now. Okay, I want to start on the next section here. Let's do that. So, if we come back to our arrangement, what do we have? Probably nothing much, right? Oh yeah, we have all the effects on it now. I think I might lower the feedback of Echo Boy when it reaches this point. It actually kind of creates a really cool atmosphere. Yeah. So let's migrate. Really the only thing we need to migrate in is this new chord sound, which is a completely different, and of course the lead as well. So this is going to be doubled up to duck speak. And double with this. Okay, this without automation. Yeah. And maybe I could bring this one in and have some sort of motion with it. Duck speak, wavetable, reverb, mixer. Is that all we've got to automate there? Any more things we could do? Filter, cutoff, resonance, all of that. Okay, it can come in with the filter. That's one thing it can do. Oh yeah, there we go. Now we've got all this stuff. So first thing it can do is come in with a filter sweep right away. So it'll go like that. Blend itself in with the other one. Cool. And then the, what else can we do here? So let's go back to our thing. So we have pitch attack. Ah! Yeah, I could make this into like a siren. If I like pull out the attack and just repeat it out, and I can make it at the very end. Oh, all right, got an idea. Let's duplicate this clip for the build up, and yeah, let's do that. So at the very end, this is only gonna be a 8-bar loop. Actually, the whole thing is gonna be. That's 4 bars. So this is going to be a 4-bar loop. I should probably note to myself, this is going to be 4 bars. This is going to be 8 bars. And the intro is going to be 8 bars. Well, yeah, intro itself is going to be 8 bars. And then the intro and transition is going to be 8 bars. And then the chorus is only 4 bars. And then the build-up is 4 bars. So that means this clip's going to be split in half because we have 4 bars here, 4 bars here to make an 8-bar melody, and then the very last half here, I'm going to edit the note so that it's a repeating note. So what note should I repeat here? Yeah, something like that. Maybe it'll be 8th notes. And then it's go. Right? Let's change. So all we need to do is automate up the attack, right? Whoa. Yeah, right about there. So right around 288 milliseconds is probably where we get our best siren sound. Get it right back there. There we go. 239 is pretty good too. That's got to come in slower though. Right there. Maybe it'll only reach full siren status when it gets to the very end. Gotta get there faster. I'm not sure how to bring this in. Maybe I could start to increase it way back here. gotta change the rhythm here. So this can start to come in better. Yeah. That's better. That's better. Rapidly increasing. Let's maybe make it go higher. Yeah, so what is this modulation source? It's envelope 3. Envelope 3 is controlling oscillator 1 position, 2 position, and pitch. Yeah, so we want to increase this amount. Now I want it to go up to a G. So we have to make it 12 semitones. See? Now it'll be in tune. Nice. So obviously the only clip right now in the build-up is this lead sound, but that'll be cool once we get there. That's gonna be the last half there. Quantize this whole thing. Do something here where we quantize it to a quarter note all the way. All of these notes here. We want to quantize them to quarter. That way, the lengths, I also set it to change the start and end lengths of the notes, so now I've got some nice consistent quarter note length. Still want this to happen here though. And then I'll have this come in somehow. What do these each do? Let's just test it real quick. Beautiful. Let's make sure this is a loop. Let's make sure this is a loop. Make sure it only loops the first part. And quantize these notes as well. It's eighth note, start and end. Yeah, much cleaner looking. These are all an octave too low. These as well. octave better. What if it extended out the whole length? Or extended out to each other, that is. Well, we wouldn't get any attacks anymore. What if we added some sort of artificial attack where we, at the beginning, we use some sort of filter sweep with an envelope on this filter? Yeah, it doesn't do much. Let's try doing a let's do LFO 2. Is envelope 2, is envelope 2 controlling anything? No. Turn the filter down. Level 0. There we go. Yeah. Trying to create a little transient for myself here. Let's make the wavetable position move as well. Continue to tweak this, but I'll do it off camera because, you know, it's a lot of repetition and getting it just to be just where it needs to be. So I apologize if there wasn't as much explanation today. I hope that I did cover the session view. That was what I was trying to kind of get across today, was the usefulness of the session view in being able to switch around arrangements quickly, but I kind of ended up just getting caught up in making these sections more fleshed out. But I was able to do it in a different format here. Oops, I should probably move my face so that you could see everything that I've done here. I've done it in a different format here, so where I've got them set up in rows of clips rather than on the arrangement view. That way I can change them on the fly. I could be like, all right, get rid of this clip, place another one in there that has different automation, and then especially when we get to the drop variations, we can create a drop with the certain clips that we have, and then we could create another drop, or we could duplicate that whole thing by just option dragging this entire row down, and then create another drop variation with a different baseline from our bass slices kit, which is over here, and we could just come up with several different variations and then be able to choose on the fly. And we might even be able to go as far as making this into a live set where it can be performed and be slightly different every time. So just one of those things that now that you can do, that you might want to consider when making a new track or making a song. If you ever do get the chance to perform this song live, there is a way to do it behind the laptop. This is often what musicians behind computers, you know, people that are performing with a laptop, they're usually using this because it gives you such flexibility to set up scenes for yourself and switch between things and create randomization within each effect chain in here. So like you could set it up so that you have arpeggiators and randomizers that you can hold down notes and you get patterns and yada yada yada. You just basically program in the song so that it can be played right as easily as possible, and also be edited quickly and changed around. If we were stuck here in this automation, or not automation, but arrangement view, we'd have to delete, move things over, and kind of get things into place. But with the arrangement view, we also get the ability to use track automation and group automation, which is kind of huge in mixing, right? We want to be able to drop audio effects here and then automate them on the track, rather than use a crystallizer here, a delay here, and so on and so forth. But let's say we want to delay the whole thing. That's where the arrangement view comes into play. So clip view can only get you so far. I might end up redoing a lot of the effects that I've had on here as most of all just filters, like, because we've got similar filter motion on our different patches here, but I think that the slight variations in them might help a little bit with creating it a more dynamic song. But we'll see when we get there's kind of several stages to this. Like right now I'm at the individual stage where I'm just coming up with individual ideas and just putting them in and just kind of testing them. That's what session view is great for. And then when you get into arrangement view, you're thinking more of on a macro scale. You're thinking not of individual tracks and sounds and motions and automation. You're thinking of as more of a group of things that you're trying to mix with other groups of things, and that might lead you to want to use an effect to affect multiple things overall as a group. But right now, major limitation with session view is the non-ability to use group automation, unless there is a workaround. You could have it so that you're only using session clips to play your track, but you can still be playing through the automation on these tracks. Actually, you know what? You could, well, technically you could have automation on tracks, but only on ones that you're not controlling with clips. I guess how could I say this? Like, you could have a drum track that has some motion here, or like a group, for example, and you're looping an 8-bar section in your song, and you have effects on your group. Those effects will continue to play when you have the clips playing. I could probably demonstrate something like that later down the line once we get to the mixing stage of this. I've been kind of mixing here and there. I like to mix as I go, just because I like things to sound how they're going to sound in the end. Just so I get a better idea of, okay, is this going to work or not? So I'll put a compressor and EQ, and usually I'm able to make things work with those plugins. All right, but I think that'll be all for today. I think we got a fair bit done. We were able to migrate this mess into another mess. Well, not really a mess, but we migrated it into this view. There were some clips on here that we were using, that we used to copy and paste into arrangement. We're kind of doing it the opposite way now, because I'd like to sort of dissect the song, if possible, and change it around. Because, never quite satisfied, am I? Alrighty. On that note, it's 1:40. We shall be going. And go ahead and come on by tomorrow. We're going to be doing something very similar. We're going to be continuing the grind on this song, and we're going to be getting it done, and we're going to be making some good progress. Yeah. Really sure on what kind of general subject we'll be talking, but we, in some way, shape, or form, we will be making progress on this song, and you can feel free to join along with me and learn from it. I'll be here tomorrow, 11:30. All right, that's all.